It's 2 in the morning, and in a dark bedroom somewhere, a glowing screen is waiting for a finger to press one button. Tap. The screen erupts into gold light and confetti. A card spins out of the glow, and it's the wrong player again. So the finger goes right back to the button. That button is the most profitable button in the history of video games. It lives inside the best selling sports game ever made, a game that carried one name for 30 years FIFA. And here's what almost nobody realizes: the packs behind that button now earn more every single year than FIFA was ever paid for its own name. The people tapping it aren't high rollers in Vegas. They're ordinary football fans, and many of them are children. This is the story of how FIFA rented out three letters and accidentally helped build a casino inside a game rated suitable for 3-year-olds. A machine so powerful it outgrew the name on the box. A $1 billion bluff that failed in front of the whole world. And a kingdom now buying the entire machine for $55 billion. This is no ordinary game, and this is no ordinary story. So let's follow the money. Three questions run underneath this whole story. What's really inside those packs? How much is a famous name worth? How did FIFA lose its own game? The answers begin in a place nobody would expect. Not a stadium and not FIFA's headquarters in Zurich, but a small studio in Canada, in a year when football games were a joke. It's 1993. Video games are exploding, but real football barely exists on a console. America doesn't care about soccer, and the world's football fans have nothing worth playing. A young company called Electronic Arts decides to change that. But the game they are building needs one thing first: credibility, a badge, a stamp that makes it feel official. So they go straight to the people who own football itself, FIFA. And FIFA says, yes. To the Federation, it looks like free money. Rent out three letters, cash the check, risk nothing. That one, yes, is the decision this entire story grows out of. Because the game launches, it works, and then it does something much stranger. It starts replacing the very thing it's named after. For millions of kids growing up in the 90s and 2000s, FIFA doesn't mean a federation in Switzerland. FIFA means the game. Sleepovers, school holidays, two brothers fighting over one sofa. The name of world football's governing body quietly becomes the name of a video game, and that little licensing deal turns into the longest marriage in sports gaming, 30 years, with a new edition every single year. By the end, more than 325 million copies are sold. FIFA's name is now on the best selling sports franchise the world has ever seen. The Federation thinks it's winning. It has no idea what's coming. For a long while, that marriage makes everyone rich. EA builds the game, and FIFA collects the rent. And by the final deal, that rent reaches $150 million a year. For a name, not the code, not the players, not the stadiums, just three letters printed on a box. It looks like the smartest passive income in all of sport. But while FIFA cashes the same flat check every year, something is changing inside its game. Because there's one flaw in selling a game once a year: the money stops. A fan buys the disc in September and then pays nothing more until the next September. So inside EA, somebody asks a dangerous question: what if the game never stopped charging? In 2009, a new mode appears inside FIFA's game. It's called Ultimate Team. The pitch sounds innocent enough: build a dream squad out of collectible cards. But where do the cards come from? Packs, shiny, sealed, irresistible packs. Some can be earned just by playing. But the fastest way in is real money. And here's the design twist that changes gaming forever. The contents are random. $10 might pull a superstar, but it'll probably pull nothing because the rush was never the card itself. The rush is the moment before the card, the lights, the suspense, the maybe. Any slot machine on earth would recognize that blueprint instantly, and it's running under FIFA's name. At first, Ultimate Team looks like a harmless side attraction. Then the numbers start arriving. By 2015, the packs are pulling in nearly $600 million a year across EA's sports games. 6 years later, it's 1.6 billion every year. And today, The figure runs past 2 billion a year. That's more than most Hollywood blockbusters earn worldwide from digital trading cards. And that money isn't coming from corporations. It's coming from allowances, paychecks, and saved up birthday money, a few dollars at a time, from people who simply love football. Somewhere along the way, the mode starts out earning the game it lives inside. The $60 disc stops being the product and becomes the entry fee. The packs never go out of date either. Special cards appear for one weekend only. Upgrades, limited legends, countdown timers miss the window, and that card is gone forever. This isn't a game waiting to be played anymore. It's a machine engineered to never let go. The man pushing it hardest, Andrew Wilson, rides the pack money all the way to the top, chief executive of the entire company. But here's the detail that matters most. FIFA didn't design any of this. FIFA doesn't run the mode, doesn't set the odds, doesn't touch the machine. The Federation just keeps collecting the same flat rent, while a fortune flows through a game wearing its name. The most famous name in football is now the front door to something it doesn't control. And back in Zurich, that's slowly starting to sting. Then the bills start arriving in family homes. Parents open their card statements and find hundreds of dollars missing, sometimes thousands, spent by their children, not on games, on chances. The stories stack up around the world, and regulators finally cut the pack open to see what's inside. What they find looks very familiar: random rewards, real money going in, and near misses engineered to sting. In 2018, Belgium's gambling authority delivers a ruling. These packs are gambling, illegal gambling, sitting inside a game rated suitable for small children. And think about whose name is in every one of those headlines. Not Ultimate Team, not Electronic Arts, FIFA. EA resists at first. Then, facing possible criminal prosecution, it quietly switches the paid packs off in Belgium. A year later, the British Parliament demands answers, and an EA executive delivers a line the internet never forgets. The packs, she insists, aren't loot boxes at all. They're surprise mechanics, quite ethical and quite fun. The room doesn't buy it. But almost everywhere else on Earth, the packs stay perfectly legal, and the machine doesn't slow down, it accelerates. So picture the view from Zurich. FIFA's name is taking the heat, while a mode inside its own licensed game earns more in 1 year than the FIFA name earns in 10. Its brand carries the risk. Somebody else keeps the fortune. And the Federation reaches a fateful conclusion. Three letters deserve a far bigger cut. When the contract comes up for renewal, FIFA names its price more than $1 billion dollars every 4 year cycle, roughly double the old rent. And reportedly, FIFA wants more than money. It wants the freedom to stamp its name on other games, other partners, other ways to monetize. From Zurich, it looks like a sure thing. 30 years of brand equity, the most famous name in world sport. Surely nobody walks away from that. But EA studies the demand and asks itself one radical question: what are the three letters actually for? The players come from the leagues. EA licenses those directly. The clubs, the kits, the stadiums, the faces, all separate deals. Ultimate Team is EA's own invention. The only thing FIFA truly owns is the word on the box. So in 2022, EA does the unthinkable. It walks away. Analysts call it commercial suicide, walking out on the most famous name in football. FIFA's president isn't worried at all. Gianni Infantino promises the world that FIFA's own future game will be the best. The real one, the authentic one, two sides, one divorce, and one question left hanging over both of them. Which was the product, the name or the game? In 2023, the renamed game launches: EA Sports FC. Same players, same clubs, same packs, just no FIFA. The whole industry holds its breath. And then the numbers land. The players stayed, most fans barely looked up. They just kept playing. The franchise keeps right on growing, more than 70% over 5 years. The newest edition sells 12 million copies in a single month, the fastest launch the series has ever had. The verdict is brutal. and it's undeniable. The most famous name in sport was worth nothing. Fans were never buying FIFA. They were buying the players, the leagues, and the packs. FIFA bet $1 billion that it was the game, and EA called the bluff and kept everything. So, what about FIFA's promised masterpiece? The rumored deal with a gaming giant never materialized. What actually arrived was a small mobile app built on blockchain cards with 2.5 million downloads. The game FIFA left behind sells more than that in a single week. And this summer, at FIFA's own World Cup, the official game is that little arcade app. Meanwhile, the football game the planet actually plays isn't even allowed to say the words World Cup. FIFA rented out its name for 30 years, and when the name finally came home, there was nothing underneath it. But FIFA's story has one more turn, because the machine that outgrew its name was about to change hands, and the new owner would land far closer to FIFA than anyone imagined. September 2025. One announcement stuns the gaming world and the football world at the same time. The company behind FIFA's old game is being bought for $55 billion, the biggest buyout of its kind in history. And the buyer isn't a rival studio, it's a country. Saudi Arabia, through its National Investment Fund, a pool of money worth nearly $1 trillion. Here's the part that matters. 20 billion of that price is borrowed money, loaded onto the company itself. And deals like this obey one iron rule. The company has to earn back its own purchase price. So where does the money come from? The PACs, the same PACs one regulator called illegal gambling, are now expected to help pay off a kingdom's $20 billion bet. And now, watch the circle close around FIFA. The same Saudi fund sponsors FIFA's World Cup, the one playing right now. The same kingdom hosts FIFA's World Cup in 2034. And soon, it will own the game FIFA walked away from. The federation rented out its name and lost the game. The game found a new owner, and that owner is now woven into football's future more deeply than FIFA ever intended. So, who pays for all of this? Not the fund and not the executives, the players. Analysts estimate the interest on that debt alone will run past $1 billion a year before a single dollar of profit. And a company carrying that kind of weight doesn't loosen its grip. It squeezes more pressure on the one mode that prints money. The casino doesn't shrink after a buyout, it expands. And the people at the tables haven't changed. Teenagers with birthday money, kids with a parent's card saved on the console, grown men who've bought the same game 20 times, still chasing one perfect squad. We laughed at the packs, we complained about the packs, and then we bought the packs, billions of dollars a year, one small tap at a time. The most successful trick in gaming was never hidden. It was glowing right in the middle of the screen, and the organization that started it all never controlled a single spin. For 30 years, hundreds of millions of us said the same three words: I'm playing FIFA. It turns out we were wrong twice. It was never really FIFA's game, and we were never really playing football. The football was the lobby, the packs were the game. A federation rented out its name and believed the name was the empire. A company built a casino and knew exactly which one was. And somewhere tonight, another bedroom is glowing. The same finger hovering over the same button. One more pack, just one more. Tap, follow the money, see the system, subscribe to Magnifico Mint, and hit that like button.